The remarkable story of 500 abandoned babies and one man's heart of compassion will take you inside the award-winning documentary, The Dropbox, on today's 700 Club Interactive. On 700 Club Interactive, we use technology to pray for each other and explore topics that matter to you. Watch what God is doing in the world today. Well, welcome to 700 Club Interactive. Brian Ivy was a 21-year-old filmmaker from California. He dreamed of winning Sundance and came across a story he thought would help him do just that.
That story featured a South Korean pastor, abandoned babies, and something called a drop box. So with a camera in tow, Brian packed his bags and went halfway across the globe, and what he found there changed the course of his life.
When student filmmaker Brian Ivy read about one pastor's heroic efforts to save abandoned babies in Seoul, South Korea, he knew it was a story that needed to be told. The result was the award-winning documentary called The Dropbox. It's about the work of Pastor Lee Jong-rak, a man who built a baby box, complete with blankets and warmers, where desperate mothers could leave their unwanted newborns to be cared for. For Brian, though, it became more than just another film. In his book, also called The Dropbox, Brian shares how Pastor Lee's compassion helped him discover his own need to be rescued.
Here to talk more about the movie and the book, The Dropbox, is author and filmmaker Brian Ivy. Brian, great to have you with us today.
Thanks, Terry.
How did you come upon this story?
Well, I read it over my breakfast cereal. One morning on June 20th, 2011, I read an article in the LA Times about this pastor in Korea who had built what looked to me like a mailbox for abandoned babies. But it also looked to me like a bunker, almost, like this man had built a bunker for babies and was defending it with his whole life. So
you just decided to pack up your camera and whatever gear you felt you needed and head to South Korea. It seemed like a good idea, right?
It seemed like a really good idea, especially because I thought it could make me really famous.
Yeah, that was your goal at the time, right?
It was. A lot of people are on Twitter recently and they go, "You're telling me you went to Korea to be famous and to use these people," you know, and I go, "Yeah, now you fess up about all the stuff that you do."
Yeah, isn't that the truth? And your book is very much about that. You're very candid in the book. And Pastor Lee was very candid with you about his life, because his life took a radical turn because of these children as well.
Yeah, it did. And it really was that he showed me that he was broken and that he was saved by God from a gutter of alcoholism and rage and abortion and all these things before he saved anyone. And that's when I knew that God was always the initiator.
Yeah, and real, because I think, especially for those of us who are raised in any aspect of the church, you know, tapping into that father heart of God that changes who we are is an individual experience. How did that happen for you?
Well, I thought I was a Christian before I went, you know, because I didn't smoke cigarettes and I watched Fox News with my mom, you know. It was something that Two criteria that must be on the list.
That's
right, yeah. And I put a label on myself because I was an American, I'm a Christian, but it was really coming to the realization that what the Dropbox represents is the place we all belong, bound up in the dark, helpless and needing to be saved. Just like those kids.
You know, I have a Korean son, an adopted Korean son. And so I was telling him your story last night, and he said, "Was I a Dropbox baby?" And I said, "No, you weren't." But afterwards, I thought that was the wrong answer. We're all Dropbox babies.
Amen.
And God has done just that, rescued us, cleaned us up, and given us his name. Tell me how the real Dropbox works.
So the real Dropbox works, basically, it's a place lodged in a wall where women can come leave their children without being seen. So the way that works in Pastor Lee's is one side opens into his house, the other side opens into the alley adjacent to it. So women will come to that alley and leave the child. And on the bottom of this heated box is a pressure sensor, so an alarm will go off and alert the family that a baby's been dropped.
Now, that happened while you were there.
Totally did.
What was that like?
I have never had to process so much permanence in one moment than I did when a baby was left forever in a box. And so for me, it was a movie, but then it was real, and I couldn't really reconcile those things. And I think that's part of the point. That's why this is not just a story.
What happens to all these children? Because there've been, is it more than 500 of them that this is?
More than 600.
More than 600.
Yes. Well, I will say this, which is important. Mothers do come back about a quarter of the mothers do come back to reclaim the kids, which is very important because they receive counseling and care from Pastor Lee and his staff as well, not just a box and a site to leave their children, but many of them are sent to nursing facilities where they can be adopted, and that is the call in the church in Korea.
Wow. So you wrote a book about this as well as did a movie. Let's talk about the movie first because it's airing now.
Right.
People can see it tonight,
Yep.
the 3rd, the 5th, 4th, and the 5th,
That's
right?
right.
So
Yep.
you have to look that up on
3 nights only.
Dropbox.com.
Yes.
Tells you where you can see it. What did you want the movie to convey?
I wanted it to be a love letter, you know. My heart's broken all over it. It got broke while making it, you know. But I wanted it to be a love letter from the Father's heart to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It went through some revision.
A lot.
I mean, really, as God revised you, the movie got revised,
That's
right?
actually the perfect way of putting it. I grew up with this movie because I had to realize a lot because gifts exceed character. But God wanted me to be in a certain place with him so that I would show up and I would say, look, I'm loved and I'm just a regular dude who got saved, and that's for you as well.
Yeah. And the book, what made you decide to write the book?
This is my song for the suburbs, you know. This is my message to people who grew up thinking that salvation and Jesus is only for people who ran cartels and who, you know, enslave people and who have extreme stories, but it's just for regular people who also have sin that needs to be dealt with, but then they can be adopted as well into this family and changed forever.
Talk about a couple of the amazing kids that really touched and changed your life there.
Well, Gidi is one of those amazing kids. Gidi's the kid with the big cheeks that they always pinch, you know, you poke his cheek and everybody laughs because he laughs. But his name really means victory because he's overcome 5 heart surgeries.
Wow.
And there's another boy named Ruri, who is one of Pastor Lee's children, who was left at a hospital, not in a box, and who he brought into his home. But he's great at Taekwondo, even though he's missing fingers and toes. And he's the one who taught me how to sit next to someone, not just stand over them, especially if they have a disability or a deformity.
Boy, that was just saying that, I think, makes us know that we've been doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You know, for a long time.
Yeah.
Pastor Lee has his own son, severely disabled.
Yeah, that's right. He does.
How did that impact you?
Well, when I saw him, I was actually afraid of him. You know, I didn't want to sit next to him. I wanted to stand over him. But Pastor Lee doesn't just have a frustrated love for that boy. He likes him.
Yeah.
And I think that's because Pastor Lee's full, so he can just give.
Yeah. That's such a good way of putting it, I think, that when God comes in and truly changes our lives and we are full, then we can be what we were created to be, which is givers.
Exactly.
And that's what this movie and the book are all about, and it's won the award.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
congratulations.
thank you.
Pretty
Thank you.
exciting. Pretty exciting.
I couldn't believe it either. Because, you know, I went out to win Sundance Film Festival and got saved instead. But there have been some awards.
You got the better end of that deal.
That's right. Amen to that.
Well, we just want to encourage you to go to the movies. The documentary paints a moving picture of a modern-day hero with the loving heart of God, and it's available across the country. Now go to Dropbox.com.
TheDropboxFilm.com.
TheDropboxFilm.com, and it'll tell you where it's playing in your area. It's only there for a few nights, so take advantage of that. And, of course, the Dropbox book, available wherever books are sold. Brian, great message on all counts. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
great
Sarah.
to have you here. Gordon?
Well, coming up, hope for the homeless.
I've been on the street for 1 year. Today, when I leave this interview with you, I'm going to get my place.
Find out how one restaurant is feeding souls and changing lives after this. Homelessness is on the rise, and many Americans are struggling to get by. Jim Noble is determined to reverse this trend, one meal at a time.
Charlotte, North Carolina is a bustling hotspot in the South, home to major banking corporations and Fortune 500 companies. In the heart of it all, on the corner of West Trade and Church Street, stands a restaurant. Within, an unassuming man with a plan to see lives changed.
Feeding the poor and taking care of those less fortunate is not a good idea. It's part of our marching orders. It's a requirement for us as believers. So I take that literally.
Jim Noble has been in the restaurant business for almost 30 years. That knowledge, coupled with a Christ mindset, is what sets this establishment apart from the rest.
The mission of King's Kitchen is to give people hope and to give people a second chance at life.
My name is Ronnie. I've been in Charlotte for 7 months. I moved here from New Orleans. A lot of things happened in New Orleans. I went through Hurricane Katrina, lost everything I had there, and that kind of started a downward spiral for me, which I never quite got out of.
King's Kitchen is a not-for-profit restaurant that's a 501c faith-based ministry. It operates as a restaurant, but it also operates as a ministry. And let me explain. We take all the profits that we generate and pour back into the community, the region, and the world to help feed the poor. And then secondly, we have a restoration program we call King's Kitchen Restoration Program. We help people get off the street, get off drugs or whatever, and give them a second chance in life. And they go through a one-year program where they do Bible study 5 days a week, on-the-job training for which they're paid. We'll do leadership classes from John Maxwell, and social skills training and financial management courses. One of the most impactful things is just walking the love of Christ with people, particularly for the folks that we reach out to. The love of Christ and sharing with people that most people don't even look them in the eyes, that's been impactful.
King's Kitchen is meeting practical need with food and life skills, but feeding the soul has been instrumental in seeing lasting results.
Part of the vision for what we had when we came to do King's Kitchen was to do a church. We've been meeting since January of 2011. It's not me or our team, it's God. Only God can change a heart and change a life.
I've been attending the King's Kitchen program now for the program for a month and Bible study for 5 months. I've been on the street for 1 year and a month. Pastor Noble said one Sunday morning, he said, he told the church, he said, if you'll give God 1 year, just 1 year, no holds barred, it'll change your life. And so I made that choice 5 months ago, and it's been a whirlwind ever since. Today, when I leave this interview with you, after 1 year and 1 month, I'm going to get my place. It's been an amazing thing. I opted to give him 1 year. It only took 6 months.
It's nice to feed people, but really to see their heart changed or touched, or be surprised by the love of God was really strong. We've seen healings take place and deliverances take place.
My ear was giving me trouble. Well, long story short, I told her to my Bible study instructor, and I told her that my eardrum had been punctured, and immediately she came and she put hands on me and she prayed over me. It was awesome. I was healed. God works wonders. Everybody's lives, He's out here for everyone.
Much has been accomplished in downtown Charlotte, but the success of King's Kitchen has not been without struggle.
One of the initial challenges that we had at King's Kitchen was to raise the funds. And we started fundraising probably 2 years before we ever opened the doors. Anytime in any ministry or businesses, finances are always a challenge. The good thing is that we've expanded it. We've added the King's Bakery, and we're debt-free here, and that's wonderful.
When asked what it takes to be obedient to God's calling on your life,
Guts. You know, look at it like this. If it's something you probably can pull off on your own, it may not be God calling you. But if He's asked you to do something that you know you can't do, then it's probably God. I'm going to have to depend on a lot of leaders who aren't here yet. But we take it 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, and just keep pushing the envelope for what God's called us to do.
Keep pushing the envelope for what God has called us to do. That's what you and I need to be doing. Not being content with our Christianity, but reaching out. Realizing He's giving us a great treasure. He's giving us gifts, and He expects us to use them, and to use them to help others. Remember the words of Jesus, what you do to the least of these, my brethren, He calls them His brothers, you do it also unto me. And when you have that thought in your head, as you do relief work, as you reach out with hands of love and compassion, realize you're doing it not just for Jesus, you're doing it unto Jesus, and you're helping His body. That's what He meant by that. You're helping His body. We've got to stop thinking of the church as a building and start thinking of a church as a living organism made up of you and me, and we get to go out and change the world one life at a time. Be inspired by this and start thinking, what can you do? What can you do in your neighborhood? What can you do in your community? What can a group of people do together when we say yes to what God has asked us to do? Tara?
Well, up next, a teenager who wanted to make a difference in her community.
It was tragic to see him living that way, without a home, without any warmth, without any food. So I just wanted to do what I could.
Find out how this abandoned baby girl became an answer to prayer. You don't want to miss her inspiring story, and it's next.
Maura Askew prayed to have a family, but she miscarried 5 times. Then one night she received a call, and she was given the gift she always longed for, and one that would touch the lives of many.
I had gotten a call, and they told me that there was a little baby girl abandoned, and would I be her foster mother? And I had a feeling that I had a feeling that this was someone special. So I was like, absolutely. And they told me she had been born on Christmas Eve. And so I went. It was the next day. They told me that I could go to the hospital and pick her up. She was just the most beautiful baby I've ever seen. And I just felt instant love for her. They said, well, what would you name her? And I said, Mariah, because it means a gift from God. I had lost 5 babies. So I prayed for a long time for a child. And Mariah is, I believe, the answer to a million prayers.
I've been blessed with an amazing family and an amazing mother who adopted me, so that's what keeps me going.
And she was a little girl, and friends would come over to play. She would always want to be giving her toys to them. And I'd say, no, you can't do that. You got that for Christmas. So what we had to do, we had to go to like the dollar store, and we got a basket, a gift basket, and we filled it up with a lot of things so that when her friends left or she had friends over, she could give them a present, and it would be something. Mariah would always notice things and notice people, and she would notice suffering, and she would always point it out. She was she's very compassionate young lady. We had gone to eat, and then the homeless man came up, and he had, well, probably everything he owned with him.
It was tragic to see him living that way, without a home, without any warmth, without any food. So I just wanted to do what I could. We had a blanket in the back of our car, and I got out and gave it to him, and it just broke my heart.
When we got home, she went upstairs and she went to our linen closet, and she came down, and she was still in tears, and she had a big pile of blankets in her hand, and she said, I don't even recognize these. And that's how Blankets for the Homeless was started.
Sun rays begin to rise. Take me by complete surprise. I see before me the countryside. Highs and lows with sorrows high.
We typically buy all of this, but we've started to get a lot of donations, which has been really helpful. It usually takes about 2.5 hours to load the car with all of the blankets and the food. Never get tired of it. Every homeless person that I've met has been very memorable and has broke my heart in some way.
They have come and brought us blankets and food and jackets, and it doesn't matter where we stay, they find us and they come to us.
Be a lover of the light.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Hey, God bless you guys.
Be a lover of the light.
Would you guys like a blanket or lunch? Every time they have said yes, and they've been very receptive and very appreciative.
Thank God that there's people like y'all.
Oh, thank you.
Because y'all been so good, you know?
Thank you.
Wonderful. God bless you so much.
God bless you.
Like a hammer, I will see.
We know that God is keeping us safe the entire time we're going, and He guides us to where we're going, and we just know that in some way we're going to make a difference with God's help.
A lot of people have said to me, you're setting such a good example for your child. And I think, no, it's Mariah who's setting the example for me.
Like an arrow, I will fly.
Excuse me, would you like a blanket or a lunch?
Like a lover, I will cry.
I hope that we get a lot more help to help the homeless, and I hope this changes people's minds on how they view the homeless, and I hope it changes the homeless people's lives.
Knowing her circumstances, I do think that makes her more aware. In reality, she was homeless in the beginning of her life, and so she feels a need and a drive to help as many people as she can.
What a wonderful story. I wish we all had that need and that drive. Realize we're just sojourners on this earth. We're not here permanently. And lay up treasure for yourself in heaven. Lay it up in how you treat other people. And if you're moved with compassion, with what you see around you, reach out. Don't just be moved with it. Reach out in compassion. And if a little girl can show us how to do it, we can all join in and say, yes, we can be a part. Terry?
Well, every day, CBN's Orphans Promise provides safe homes for thousands of children around the world, like these two little brothers from Vietnam. At the ages of just 4 and 1, they had to beg for food all alone on the side of the road.
Loam was 4 years old and Vaughn was 1 when their parents abandoned them near their home in Vietnam.
We were so hungry. I carried my brother to my aunt's house to ask for food, but she didn't let us in.
The brothers sat next to the street, hoping that someone would see them and help them.
Vaughn was crying so hard because he was starving. I couldn't do anything to help him.
Another aunt found them and took them in, but over time she wasn't able to provide for them either.
There was a time when we didn't have food to eat for 2 days. My stomach hurt a lot.
Eventually, the brothers came to live here, at this Christian home supported by CBN's Orphans Promise.
The food here is so good, and we get to eat 3 times a day. On our first day here, they also gave us clothes and new towel.
In addition to food and shelter, the boys are also experiencing love. Today, Loam and Vaughn are healthy and active boys. They both do well in school and enjoy playing with their friends.
I want to thank the people who care for us and help us.
I love the fact that we've been able to make a difference in the lives of Loam and Vaughn because they represent thousands and thousands of children who don't have a place to stay tonight, who don't have food on their table, who are just lost and out there. You know, we really can make a difference. I'd love for you to be a part of what CBN's Orphans Promise is doing around the world. We're touching the lives of those children. We're educating them. We're putting them in a place where they get good food every day. Most importantly, where they're loved and where they find out about the love of the Father. You can be a part of that. If you'd like to be a part of what we are doing, you can do it by calling our toll-free number. It's right there on your screen, 1-888-777-1999. Just call and say, I'd like to be a part of Orphans Promise, and then give your gift knowing that you really can, through your compassion and your generosity, make a huge difference in the lives of children, their communities, and eventually their nations. So help us do that. We thank you in advance. Gordon?
Well, we leave you this word from James chapter 2, where he asks a question. What good is it if you say you have faith, but don't show it by your actions? Can that kind of faith save anyone? Suppose you see a brother or sister who has no food or clothing, but then you don't give that person any food or clothing. What good does that do? Faith by itself isn't enough unless it produces good deeds. God bless you.